I didn't want to do another Knight Rider. That Knight Rider was and is a legendary show, but at that point, Knight Rider was looked at as fluff, and it was canceled at NBC, unfortunately, because it wasn't like Hill Street Blues or Friends or or hip or cool. It was something that appealed to middle America, something that appealed to the children. We had fantastic ratings, and it was almost with apologies of Brandon Tartikoff, who was the brilliant mind behind NBC at that time, and brought us Hill Street Blues and changed the network. He was only 32. He came around and almost apologetically canceled the show and said, we're not going to make it. We want, and so a few years later, Grant Tinker, who was the CEO of NBC, later went off to become a producer and produced Baywatch and produced a ill-fated show called USA Today, which was a TV show about the USA Today newspaper. And when I first saw Baywatch, I thought, do I really want to do another show like this? They showed me the sizzle reel, which was rescue guys in slow motion on the beach and incredibly beautiful stuff. And I had a hit Looking for Freedom in Germany. And I said, well, I don't understand. Why would I want to go back and do this show that's not that cool when I'm doing Looking for Freedom? And suddenly I became this huge rock star in Germany. So I played Looking for Freedom for Grant and played and walked around the office, and then they showed me the sizzle reel. So I called my manager, Jan McCormick, and I said, it's a lot like Baywatch. I really don't want to do it, but it's going to be a huge hit. Get it. Tell them no, but get it. So she said no. And we said no about 10 times until we got the right fee. And then we said yes. And we went back and we did it. Then the show was canceled after the first year on NBC with the exact same ratings as Knight Rider, because I don't think it was cool. It was appealed to middle America. So we found out that it was so successful in all of Europe that I was approached by a guy named Paul Talbot, who was the sole owner of Fremantle at that point. And Paul came to me and said, look, and the rest of the crew and the rest of the producers, we can sell this show overseas. Hasselhoff is so big overseas with Knight Rider and with Looking for Freedom. We can get half the financing from overseas. Why don't we get half the financing and move it from NBC and put it on a smaller channel, a syndicated channel, a local channel? Like, I don't know what the local channel is here, but in America it would be Channel 9, it would be Channel 5, it would be Channel 13. So we went and we did. And I went to Germany, and the Germans said, can you bring us more Knight Rider? And I said, no, I can't. And they said, it's been canceled. But I said, I have a new show. Does it have a car? And I said, no, it doesn't have a car. Are you in it? Yes, and it has the same values as Knight Rider. It's about saving lives. It's basically Michael Knight running down the beach in a bathing suit with beautiful women, saving lives in the ocean. No car? I said, no, there's no car. But you're in it. I said, yes. Okay, we buy it anyway. That was the conversation. And we raised $425,000 at that point for North America and Europe. And so they took North America and Europe, and we took the rest of the world. So when we came back to LA, we had $425,000. Well, the show cost $1.1 million, $1.2 million. So we figured out how to make the show around 870, something like that, 870. And we raised the rest of the money by going around to local channels and to advertising agencies, and we nickel and dimed our way to the first season. And we lasted 11 seasons, 245 episodes, and was in the Guinness Book of World Records as the #1 watched show on the planet. So we did something right because we saw the opportunity and we saw the people liked it. It wasn't Same thing with Knight Rider. People made fun of Knight Rider, but we were up against Dallas. So I went out and did all those car shows where you sign autographs, meet David Hasselhoff and the Knight Rider car and kit. I did 75 the first 2 years. We beat Dallas. We ended up coming in second to Dallas, which was actually, at that point, we were the first show in 26 years to not get canceled against Dallas. And so Knight Rider led the way, and then Baywatch led the way, and then we personally just led the way because of my success in Europe with Looking for Freedom and Knight Rider. And Baywatch now is still loved all over the world, as well as Knight Rider. So it's amazing. You know, the shows that I've been doing, they're not like the real super hip, dark shows. They're the shows that appeal to families, kids. You know, I would say 7 to 17, loved Knight Rider, loved Baywatch. Then they grew up and they still love it. I hear about Knight Rider every single day. And right now we're in development with a company I can't really talk about to do Knight Rider the movie as a huge franchise and bring back Knight Rider the way it should be brought back, which is a continuation of the show, not like a new car, a new person. They tried that. It didn't work at all. So we're going to continue it. I'm going to be involved and maybe behind the car for a little bit, and we'll see what happens.